بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنا الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا. وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. First of all, I want to begin by trying to make it as clear as possible that I'm not here to fight anybody. This is not what this lecture is all about in any shape, form, or fashion, because I know that we have some people who may see things a different way. At the same time, I'm not here to apologize or to acquiesce as to what I perceive as being the truth concerning this most important component of the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. As my brother was saying, he mentioned earlier, where we come from, not only the Asian community, but we have Africans here from West Africa as well as from East Africa. You'll find that this most important issue has been compromised in the Ummah of Islam, except in places and with people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown His favor upon them. So when we talk about the importance of the need for creed, the need for having the proper understanding of who Allah is and who He isn't, what He does and what doesn't He do, where is He and where He is not, and no doubt it's an imperative issue, especially in light of the fact that we're close to the hour being established. And at the time where the hour is going to be established, the knowledge is going to be taken away. The closer we get to Yawm al-Qiyamah, the more knowledge is going to be taken away. Until finally when Yawm al-Qiyamah is established, you won't find on the face of the earth, as Al-Mustafa al-Mukhtar said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you won't find a person saying, Allah, Allah. The book of Allah will be taken up in one night. People won't even know. Yasin, Alif Lam Mim, Qul Huwallahu Ahad. So we're living in a time of darkness, a time of problems. During the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we see the importance for the need of having the correct aqeedah in many shapes, forms, and fashions. One of them is the fact that the Nabi used to tell his companions sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa radiyallahu anhum ajma'een, last night some of you people woke up. You went to sleep and you woke up as believers. And some of you went to sleep last night and you woke up as kuffar. They said, what do you mean, Ya Rasulullah? Why are you saying that? He said, as for the one who went to sleep last night and when he woke up and the rain was coming down, he said, it's raining because Allah sent the rain down. This person is a believer. He said, as for you people who went to sleep last night and you woke up and it was raining, some of you said, this rain is coming down because such and such a star or planet. And they were companions. He didn't mean that they were kuffar outside of the religion. He meant that that statement and that concept, it's raining because of this star, this planet, is kufrun billah. So those to show how a person can think that he's on Islam, thinks that he's doing the right thing, but what he's saying, what he's believing, it can actually be diametrically opposed to the deen of Allah. Our mother Aisha, Abdullah al-Humayra, may Allah be pleased with her, and her father and the rest of the companions, she was sitting with a Jewish lady, and the Jewish lady said to her, you Muslims are a decent group of people, if only you didn't make shirk with Allah. Aisha became angry. So what are you talking about making shirk with Allah? What are you talking about? She said, you people say, Ma sha'Allah wa sha'a Muhammad. It is as Allah wanted and is as Muhammad wanted. The group of people who came here is because Allah wanted you to be here and Muhammad wanted you to be here. The fact that your wife became well after being sick is because Allah wanted it and Muhammad wanted it. So you people are making shirk with Allah. Aisha radiallahu anha became a bit upset. She got up and left. When she went into the house, the Prophet came sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saw her disturbed. He said, "What's the matter, ya Aisha?" She told him the story. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the Jewish lady told the truth. The Jewish lady told the truth. The proof that he told the truth, she told the truth, is that another companion said, when he saw something that impressed him, "Ma sha'Allah wa shitta ya Rasulullah." It is as Allah wanted and as you wanted. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, unlike many of the Maulvi Sahibs, unlike many of the Imams and the leaders of our community who would take advantage of the ignorance of the people, the Nabi took his finger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and started pointing it in the chest of the man, and he said, "Aja'altani ma'Allahi niddan, qul ma sha'Allah wahdahu." Have you made me a partner along with Allah? Say ma sha'Allah all by himself. So the need for creed, it becomes apparent that the best of this ummah are those companions radiyallahu anhum wa ardahum. But even then, at that time, because many of them were new to the deen of Islam, they used to say things and they used to do things that would go against the religion, and then they learned and they stopped doing it. Whereas in our case, many times people never know what's correct and what's incorrect, and they continue to do it. In the beginning of Islam, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the people, "Kuntu qad nahaytukum an ziyarat al-qubur, fazuruha, fa innaha tudhakkirukum bil akhirah." In the beginning of Islam, I used to tell you people, don't go to the graves. Because when you went to the graves, you were new to Islam. You would go to the graves and make dua to the dead people. You would go to the graves and you would carry on. You would rip your clothes, slap yourself in the face, put dirt on your head, and carry on in a way that was not consistent to a person knowing the reality of the spectacle of death. He said, but now that you've been in Islam for a while, I'm ordering you, go to the graves, because they will remind you of the hereafter. So the point here is that those companions, because some of them were new in Islam, they would make certain mistakes, certain statements. They would say things like, "I swear by my father, I swear on my mother's grave, I swear on my father's grave, my grandfather's grave," if they want to show you the importance of something. So the Nabi told those people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man kana halifan falyahlif billah." Anyone who swears, let him only swear by Allah. So that tremendous companion Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, to show the importance of creed that he understood, he said, "It is preferable and more beloved to me to swear by Allah and I'm lying. I say wallahi and I know I'm lying, than it is to say I swear by something other than Allah." So unfortunately, in some of the places in the Muslim world, someone will swear by the Nabi and he'll tell the truth. Like in Sudan, I have nothing against Sudanese people, but this is a common practice. You tell the man, "Alik al-Nabi," swear by the Nabi. And if you asked him that, he would tell the truth and he would not lie. But when it came to swearing by Allah, you would find some people would swear by Allah. Abu Hurairah said, "For me to swear and lie is more preferable than to swear by other than Allah." It doesn't mean he wants to swear and lie. It means given the choice. Swearing and lying, swearing by Allah and lying is a kabira from the kaba'ir, but swearing by other than Allah is shirkun billah, disbelief. So the need for creed, ikhwani, here in this day and time, in our personal lives, the lives of our mothers, fathers, wives, children, our neighbors, our relatives, is imperative. Especially in light of the fact, again, where many of you come from, where the religion and the concepts of Al-Islam have been intertwined with Hinduism and Sikhism and other than that. The Yarmi, the Khatam, you sit and you ask people, where is this thing from? Explain it to me. If it was from the deen, we're going to do it, provided that the companions did it. Whatever ayat you're going to use, whatever hadith you're going to use to support it, just make sure that Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali and the rest of them use that same ayat the way you're using it. Understood that hadith the same way that you're using it. The need for creed. We're living in a non-Muslim society where Christianity is prevalent. And Muslim boys and girls and grown-ups and adults are saying things and believing things that are not consistent with the deen of Allah. The whole concept of Friday the 13th, the whole concept of saying, I was lucky, you were lucky. You were lucky you didn't come there. The Muslim who knows his aqeedah, knows to believe luck is out of the deen of Islam, because nothing happens by luck or something is haphazard. So those companions used to say things that were not consistent with the deen. MashaAllah and Masha Muhammad. With Allah and Muhammad. The Prophet said, don't say that. So when the person today in 2011, 2012, 1,433 years after the Hijrah, he says, you were lucky, I was lucky. That goes against the Aqeedah of Islam, because we believe in Al-Qadr. Everything is by what Allah decreed, and nothing is haphazard, and nothing is by luck. Some people may say, that point is irrelevant, it's insignificant. Thus lies the problem. This is where the problem lies. I'm going to get married, you're going to get married, and we're going to exchange rings, wedding rings. I'm going to get my wife a ring, she's going to give me a ring. That issue, that small issue, is connected to the aqeedah of a Muslim, whether he realizes or not, or he doesn't realize it. So there are many things that are going on a daily basis, many things in our everyday, mundane lives that we don't even realize. This thing goes against the religion of Al-Islam. That's why Anas ibn Malik, he said a tremendous statement that we should consider when we look at ourselves. And that's why those companions, they are the measurement. They're the replica we have to try to be like. He said to the people from the Tabi'een, and they're the best of this ummah after the companions. He said to the Tabi'een, you people are doing things, they're more insignificant in your eyes than a piece of hair. We used to look at those things that you're doing during the time of the Prophet as being something that would destroy you. The things that you're saying, the things that you're believing, and other than that. So if we want to look at the importance of a person understanding correctly what the Aqeedah of Al-Islam is, all we have to do is look at the Imam that many people from this part of the world where we come from, what he said. Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, he has a book called Al-Fiqh Al-Akbar. He called the book The Major Fiqh. But he's not talking about fiqh of masail, this mas'ala of wudu, the mas'ala of al-tayammum, the mas'ala of sawm, the mas'ala of talaq. No, he called it al-fiqh al-akbar, the major fiqh. And what did he mean by the major fiqh? He said that the major fiqh was understanding your aqeedah. And as a result of that, he said in that book, the most honorable, most important aspect of all of the religion of Al-Islam is the aspect and the knowledge and the science of Al-Aqeedah. Al-Aqeedah. So many people, they put a lot of emphasis. I'm on the Hanafi madhab. My emphasis is on not doing Raf'ul Yadeen. My emphasis is not on doing this, on doing that. But the real most important emphasis that Imam Abu Hanifa used to pay attention to was the emphasis of what do you believe and how do you believe and why. So if we want to see the importance of this issue, let us just begin by realizing that Allah Ta'ala has mentioned to us in the Quran in Surah Al-Dhariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created the jinn and I have not created mankind except for the sole purpose of worshiping me. I was sitting here right now. The only reason why we've been placed on the face of this earth is to establish the oneness of the worship of Allah Azza wa Jalla. That doesn't mean you can't laugh, you can't joke, you can't have children, you can't have amusement. Doesn't mean that you can't do those things. But it means all of those issues are secondary, and the primary issue why Allah created Bani Adam and the jinn is to worship Him without making shirk with Allah. You want to know about the importance of the right creed? Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, مَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا بَعِيدًا. And another ayah, فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. Anyone who makes shirk with Allah, he does a deed, and in that deed, he's mixing in that deed something or someone other than Allah, then he has gone clearly astray. The other ayah said he has gone far, far astray. in an authentic hadith that explains the ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the hadith al-Qudsi that Allah ta'ala will reject what he did, and he will reject that person or that thing that he combined that worship in him with. It is because of this Aqeedah that Allah revealed all of the books, the Torah, the Injil, the Zabur, the Suhuf of Ibrahim, the Suhuf of Musa, all of the books, for no reason other than to establish the right Aqeedah for the people. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونِي. We have not sent any Rasul except that we revealed the book to him, telling him there is no God worthy of worship except me, so worship me. So that's why Allah Azza wa Jal revealed every book, and that's why Allah revealed or sent every single prophet. The prophets of Islam, they didn't come so that the people can just respect them, so that the people can do their birthdays and celebrate and respect them in those issues. They came for the sole purpose of teaching the people how to worship Allah and to stay away from this issue of disbelieving in him and making shirk with Allah Azza wa Jalla. So it's no wonder, and it's not strange, and it's not a secret that for 13 years, 13 years, Rasulullah was a Nabi and a Rasul for 23 years. 13 years in Mecca, he didn't tell the people to make Salah, he didn't tell the people to fast at Ramadan, he didn't tell the people to make Hajj, although they were right there in Mecca. For 13 years, all he told those people was to say La ilaha illallah, and not to just say it, but to understand it. And there's a big difference between us and Quraysh. Unfortunately, some of the kuffar of Quraysh, they know about the Tawheed of Allah better than some Muslims, unfortunately. When the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to Quraysh, and he told Quraysh, say La ilaha illallah, right away the image and the concept that was conjured up in the mind of Quraysh is that those people knew right away La ilaha illallah was an equation that had to deal with economics, that they were going to lose power and they were going to lose money, because around the Kaaba they had a bunch of idols that the Arabs used to come from Syria, they used to come from Yemen, they used to come from all over the place to pay homage to the Kaaba and the idols. When the Arabs would come to pay homage to those Arabs, to the idols, they would give Quraysh money. Here's some money for this idol, here's some money for that idol, here's some money for you for taking care of that, here's some money for you, and so forth and so on. When the Nabi told them, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, say La ilaha illallah, right away they said, if we only believe in Allah, which we do, we believe in Allah, but if we stop worshiping these idols, that means our pockets are going to go flat. We're going to lose out on money. So they did believe in Allah. The Prophet's father's name was Abdullah, and Rasulullah wasn't even created. His name was Abdullah, and the Nabi wasn't even here yet. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran about their understanding, مَا نَعْبُدُهُ إِلَّا لِيُقَرِّبُونَا إِلَى اللَّهِ زُلْفَى. They said, we only worship these other idols. We believe in Allah, but we only worship these other idols. We believe in Allah. They said, but we only worship these idols to get us close to Allah. But we do believe in Allah. So the point here, Ikhwani, when the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam took all of that time, 13 years, to call the people to this kalima, to this Aqeedah, it is a sign and an indication that it is the most important issue. It's the most important issue. So what would the Prophet do, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in this regard? He would get those intelligent scholars from his companions like Mu'adh ibn Jabal, and he would send the companion Mu'adh to a group of people to also give them dawah. And he didn't say to Mu'adh, as certain groups say today, just get up and start talking and it just start flowing, just make the people feel good, say whatever you want to say. He would tell that man, Mu'adh, you're going to a group of people from Ahlul Kitab, make sure the first thing that you call them to is that they say and understand La ilaha illallah. Don't talk about the importance of technology. Don't talk about the importance of staying away from riba. Don't talk about the danger of khamr. Don't talk about any of those issues, because all of that stuff is irrelevant in comparison to the importance of those people knowing that it is Allah alone who created them, and it is Allah alone who deserves to be worshipped. Again, the emphasis that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to place on this issue is a clear indication that it is part of the legacy that he has left for this ummah. And unfortunately, again, because of where we come from, mixing with Hindus, mixing with Sikhs, mixing with Jews, mixing with Christians, mixing with people who are non-Muslims, these things have lost their prominence and the dominant position that they used to have with the people before. So the issue here, Khwani, concerning the need for creed, the need for knowing what you are doing, is indicative of the fact that the Prophet, every single day when he would start off his day and when he would end his day, he started it off with this issue of his Aqeedah. He woke up in the morning, every dua that he used to mention was a dua geared towards who Allah is and what he does and what he doesn't do. He used to make a dua that taught us, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bik ma a'lam wa ma la a'lam. Oh Allah, you gave me life today. I seek refuge in you from making shirk with you and what I know about and what I don't know about. I may be making clear shirk. Someone tells me to make sajda, prostrate to me, prostrate to this idol. I know that's clear shirk, but he sought refuge in Allah from the manifest shirk and the shirk that he didn't even know. Now, he didn't do that because it was possible for him to make shirk. It wasn't possible for him to make shirk. It was impossible. It's similar to the dua that he used to make, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he asked Allah to guide him to that which the people have ikhtilaf about. That was one of his du'as. Guide me to that which the people have ikhtilaf about. He didn't have to make that du'a because he's the example of what every ikhtilaf has to be referred back to. He made that du'a to teach us. To teach us. If you want to be guided to the truth, many things are being said, many things are being believed. You have to rely on Allah and make a lot of dua to Allah as the Prophet taught you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because you can never really be sure. Sometimes you can never really be sure. So the point here, Khwani, the point here is, why would he make that dua? Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you for making shirk and what I know and what I don't know. And he started his day off like that. And then he goes and he makes the 2 rakat before Salatul Fajr. And from his sunnah, it's not wajib, but from his sunnah is in the morning. Those 2 first rakat that start the day off, the very first 2 prayers of the brand new day, he would read Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul huwallahu ahad. He would read Surah Al-Kafirun, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. 2 ayats that the tafsir of them are pointing to the importance of the Tawheed of Allah. Why would he choose those 2 surahs? Why would he say that this surah, Qul huwallahu ahad, is a third of the Quran? So if you read it 3 times, you get the reward of reading the Quran. Why is it a third of the Quran? Again, it shows the importance of a Tawheed. It shows the importance of the correct Aqeedah. If you were to open up that Quran, first of all, every single page of that Quran has Tawheed on both sides of the page. There's not a page you can open it up to randomly or intentionally, except every page of that book is the Tawheed. So in the Quran, there are 3 categories of issues being dealt with. The first category are the stories of the people of the past, the prophets and the messages and the history of their lives. The other theme of the Quran is that it's talking about al-Jannah wal-Nar, what's going to happen in the hereafter. And the third category of information is who Allah is, what Allah does, what he doesn't do. So he said, Qul huwallahu ahad is a third of the Quran. One man was traveling with those companions, radiyallahu anhum ajma'een. And that man, he became the Amir. Every time he prayed, he would read Surah Al-Fatiha and another surah, and then at the end of it, Qul huwallahu ahad. So if he read Surah Al-Fajr, that's what he would do. If he read Salatul Fajr, he would read Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-A'la, Sabbih ismi rabbika al-A'la, and then he would read Wad-Duha. And then after both of those surahs, he would read Qul huwallahu ahad. For the whole trip. The people followed him in that. When they came back to the Medina, they told the Nabi of what the man did. The Prophet, they never saw him do that. He never did that. They told him, this man, he read Qul Huwallahu Ahad in every salah, Fajr, Maghrib, and Isha, for the duration of the trip. The Nabi said, tell the man to come here. The man came. He said, why did you do that? In every salah for the month's journey, you did that. Why? He said, because Al-Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, it is the Sifatul Rahman, and I love it. It is the characteristic of Allah. Allah is Ahad. Allah is Samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. Allah is unique. Allah is in control. He's in charge. He wasn't born and he doesn't have children. And nothing is like unto him. No one's knowledge is like his knowledge. No one's speech is like his speech. His characteristics are unique unto himself. When the Prophet heard the man's reasoning, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, because you love this surah, because you love Tawheed, because you love who Allah is, you love the Aqeedah of Islam, because of that, Allah loves you. Because of that, Allah loves you. So the issue of the correct Aqeedah is an issue that's clear in the religion of Islam. As I mentioned, this Quran begins with Surah Al-Fatiha, and Al-Fatiha is a surah of Aqeedah and Tawheed. Don't make us like the Jews and the Christians, those Jews who worship Allah and they said things like Yadullah Maghlula, Allah's hand is closed. He's telling us to give sadaqah. Why is Allah telling us to give sadaqah? If he was rich, why is he telling us to give money? He should be rich. Allah Ta'ala revealed all of those ayat about what they said. Antumul fuqara ila Allah, wallahu ghaniyun hamid. You people are fuqara, you people are poor, but Allah is rich and self-subsistent. Don't make us like those people who have the nerve and the audacity to go against the correct understanding of Allah being rich and Allah being powerful and other than that. And then in Surah Al-Fatiha we have the issue of the Christians, the poor masakin from the Nasara who don't have a clue. Isa ibn Maryam is Allah. He was walking around, or he was in his mother's stomach for a few months, and then he came out. And all of those issues that they have written in their book, and they just can't see the concept that that's not befitting the Lord of all the world. So Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ وَالْأَرْضُ جَمِيعًا قَبْضَتُهُ يَوْمُ الْقِيَامَةِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ مَطْوِيَّاتٌ بِيَمِينِهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ. They did not consider Allah the way that they should have considered him. He's a man, sweating, bleeding, being born, being threatened, being afraid, having a mother, having cousins, and on and on. They didn't consider Allah the way he should have been considered. Allah who the earth will be just in his grasp, and the seven heavens will be rolled up, folded up in his right hand. Glory unto Allah concerning what they say. Surah Al-Fatiha is a surah, ikhwani, the greatest surah of the Quran, and it's all about Tawheed from the beginning to the end. And then we have Surah An-Nisa, or Surah An-Nas, the last surah of the Quran. Another surah just about the correct Aqeedah. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas. All of that is about who has created you and who you should seek refuge with and in, and so forth and so on. So every aspect, every footstep, every breath, every issue about the existence of the Muslim is an issue that points to the importance of knowing who your Lord is, what he does and what he doesn't do, where he is and where he isn't, and so forth and so on. And again, this issue is an issue that the Muslims unfortunately have all kinds of ikhtilaf about. Who is Allah? Like the Christians. That Trinity stuff that they believe, they say intellectually. Why can't and why shouldn't we believe that God can come down in the form of a man? Even you Muslims, you say things like in the Quran, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah can do whatever he wants to do. Wallahu fa'alun lima yurid. Whatever he wants to do. Yakhluqullahu ma yasha. Whatever he wants to create, he can create it. So why can't he come down? And besides, it's similar to the egg Allah is similar to the egg. You have the white outer shell, you have the white yolk in the middle, and then you have the yellow yolk all the way inside. They didn't consider Allah the way that He was supposed to be considered. But what's the difference between those people and some of the Muslims who say similar things, who believe similar things? That statement about the egg and likening Allah to the egg, when He said in the Quran, لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, nothing is like unto Allah. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ, Allah is not like anything else. هَلْ تَعْلَمُ لَهُ سَمِيًّا, do you know anything or anyone who's similar to Allah? Nothing is similar. How can a Christian say that and then the Muslim turns around and says something similar? If you were to tell the Muslim, where is your Lord? Where is Allah? Where is He? Because the Kuffar Quraysh, they used to ask these kinds of questions. They used to say, Ya Muhammad, these are our idols and our gods. Allah, tell us, what is He made of? Is He made out of wood, copper, gold? What is He made out of? The Prophet wouldn't say anything because he didn't speak about Allah's religion without knowledge. Allah Ta'ala revealed the ayats to him. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. You want to know who Allah is? What He's made out of? That's why that ayat came down, those surahs, when they were asking, who was Allah? What is He made out of? The little girl was approached by the Nabi after she had a little problem with her master, her owner. The Prophet said to that little girl, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hey little girl, you were responsible for the man's sheep. You let the sheep run off and it got devoured by the wolf, so the man slapped you in the face and he was upset. Now he wants to make Toby. He came to me. So I just want to check you out, little girl. Little slave girl. He said to the little girl, where is Allah? Where is He? The little slave girl said, Allah is over the heavens. He said, and who am I? She said, Ya Rasulullah. The Nabi told the man who slapped her, who was the original owner, he said, let her free. She's a believing girl. She's a believer. She knows where her Lord is. She knows that Allah is not in every place. He's not an egg or inside of a shell. He's not in a person's pocket. He's not in the tail of the rat running under this building. She knew that. So as a result of giving the right answer to the Nabi concerning the creed that he taught her, she won her freedom without any muqabal, without anything she had to pay. And the man let her go. So there are just too many examples in the life of the Nabi, as well as his death. While he was dying, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right before his death, while he was dying, he's about to check out, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So as a result of that, everything that happened was important and everyone was looking. When he was sick, and he was really sick, they didn't know, is he going to die, is he not going to die? Anytime big things happened with him, they would pay attention. He's going to perform Hajj this year, everyone wants to go and make Hajj, and they're watching every step, every movement. Not only his movements, but when he was just taking it easy, they were watching and paying attention. When he was extremely sick, and he was explaining to them about his sickness, he said so many things. I'm still feeling the poison that that Jewish lady gave me that time when all of these companions ate the poisoned meat and they died. 13 of them. The Jewish lady put a lot of poison in the meat, gave it to the Nabi and some of his companions. He took one morsel and he swallowed it. They ate it. He said, stop, stop. It has poison. But before he can stop them, they started falling off dead. And here I come as a Muslim today. And I'm saying that he's Hazir Nazir. He's everywhere. He knows the ilm al-ghayb. If he was everywhere and he knew the ilm al-ghayb, he would have known that that lady put poison in that meat. You think he's going to allow his companions to eat the meat and then die right in front of his face and he could stop it? Where is his statements? لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believes until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. Poison, poison. I'm about to drink the cup and you know it's poison. You put it here for the enemy to drink, but he didn't come today. I'm sitting here. I'm about to drink it and you just remain quiet. You're going to say, hey man, that thing got some poison. You want to come, you're going to knock it over. Then Nabi, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, those people died. So later on, years later, when he was about to die, he told those people, I'm still feeling the pain of that poison. Time went on. he started complaining, not in a negative way, letting them know. He was saying to them, I get the double pain of any one of you people. Why does he get the double pain? Because he's going to go to the Jannat al-Firdaus, to the Maqam and Mahmud. That's not for anyone else. And he's going to be extremely pure and clean for that place. He just said a lot of things that they were paying attention to. That's the point. And one of the things that he said before he died, lost consciousness, and he kept going out, coming through, he said, لَعَنَ اللَّهِ الْيَهُودَ وَالنَّصَارَى إِذَا مَاتَ رجل صالح فيهم وفي الرواية اتخذوا قبور أنبيائهم مساجد. May Allah curse the Jews and the Christians. May Allah curse them. They used to take the graveyards, the grave of their prophets, and they would worship those places. To the very last moment of his life, and he's telling the people the importance of worshiping Allah and the danger of worshiping other than Allah. And today, in the vast majority of the masajid in Birmingham, you go to any of these given masjids and you'll find, Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad. And if someone said, take this thing down, it would be said to him, you don't love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, that's not the case. The dawah of the Prophet and the religion of the Prophet, the Aqeedah of the Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was built upon and it was predicated upon this issue, and that's what we're always going to be asked about. Most of you brothers who I don't know your names, I haven't even seen many of you, I don't know where you live, I don't have any business worrying about what's in your refrigerator, whether you have a TV at home, what kind of pillow you have on your bed. That doesn't concern me, and that's part of being a good Muslim. Min husni Islam al-mar tarkuhu ma la ya'nihi. From a person's good Islam is leaving alone that which doesn't concern him. How did he get that car? It's a nice car. Is he paying riba? He's not. That's not your business. But what does concern each and every person here is that the questions that Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to ask us about when we die are questions connected to our Aqeedah. Who is your Lord? Now, if you're an individual who believes that the Prophet ﷺ knew the ilm al-ghayb, and the Nabi never died, and the Prophet ﷺ never had a shadow, and Rasulullah ﷺ is here with us right now, and that you can make dua to the Nabi ﷺ, and that you thought that the Dajjal was Allah and all of these issues, you go to a soothsayer, a kahin, the Malvi Sahib, and you say, I lost this, I lost that. My parents over here, help me with this, tell me what happened. And the guy pulls out the crystal ball and he starts rubbing it. If you believe that the black thing tied up on your car, these issues like that, when it's questioned, your question, who's your Lord? You won't be able to answer, my Lord is Allah, because practically speaking, the way that you're acting, what you're doing is opposed to, my Lord is Allah. If Allah was really your Lord, then why didn't you rely on Allah instead of relying on a black piece of cloth to protect your car? If Allah was your Lord, why would you tie around your baby a ta'weez as opposed to asking Allah dua and ruqya over the child? A question of Aqeedah. What is your religion? What's your religion? My religion is Islam. If your religion is Islam, then why do you do like the Sikhs and the Hindus and the Christians and the Jews? And when you open up your business, someone gives you 20 pounds and you paste it up there. And another person gives you 10 pounds and you paste it up there. You tape it up there for good luck. Or you put things at the door for people, all kind of craziness that Muslims are engaging in that go against the deen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wholesome, easy religion of the Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jalla. What did you say about that man who came? Who is he? The Muslim who really knows he is Muhammad, Abdullah, and Rasulullah. That's his answer. He's not going to say he was Allah, he was a part of Allah, and Ali ibn Abi Talib was also a part of Allah along with him. He was an individual who I can make dua to. Those are not going to be the answers. So the point here, ikhwani fillah, brothers in the deen, the Aqeedah in al-Islam is so imperative from the day that the person is conceived, the day that he enters into the earth, and to the day that he checks out of this earth. As Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ويضل الله من يشاء. Allah will establish the people with a strong statement in the dunya and in the hereafter. In the dunya and in the hereafter. And Allah sends astray whoever He wants to send astray. That statement of being established is, again, this ayah in Surah Ibrahim is talking about the ability that the person will have to say, my Lord is Allah, and it won't be compromised. It won't be compromised. He didn't make sajda to Allah. We have some brothers here from West Africa, and they know what I mean when I say, when you start practicing the deen in Nigeria and the places in West Africa, the elders, and we have some elders here, the elders expect you to bow down to them. To bow down, like the Chinese bow down and you go down. To bow down. The person says, this bowing down is only for Allah. Only. I don't bow down for the sensei. I don't bow down for the kung fu master teacher. I don't bow down for anyone but Allah. That's it. I go to the court and I'm in the society of the Jews and the Christians. When the judge comes in, the people say, all rise. And you have to stand up and call him your honor, your honor. And the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever said to a munafiq, your honor, he has helped to destroy the deen. Now I'm not telling anyone to go to court and fight the judge. I'm not telling anyone to go to court and give a problem to the judge. You already have a lot of strikes against you. You go in, you're a Muslim, you're black, you have 2 strikes against you already. So don't make a bigger problem. But the point that I'm trying to make to you, these mundane issues that we don't consider, they go against our deen. Not to mention our children. Christmas and the plays and all of these other issues. Our children come back home and they say, oh my God, oh my God. They don't mean anything by that. It's similar to them saying, that's cool, that's cool. It doesn't mean anything. Don't go crazy if your kid is saying, that's cool. He's not trying to be like the kuffar, it's just something kids say. He says, oh my God. That child needs to come to understand that God does not render the same meaning as Allah. God is something else. And it's really a disturbing fact that we see many people who are teaching, many people who are giving dawah in order to include everyone. We want to make a generic dawah and we don't want to step on toes. And that's important. As the Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would send those same companions, go and give dawah. He would also tell them, Bashira wa la tunafira. Yassira wa la tu'assira. Give glad tidings. Tell the people, if you say La ilaha illallah, you're going to Jannah. Whoever says La ilaha illallah, says last words, he's going to Jannah. La ilaha illallah is going to benefit you sooner or later. Even if you go to the nar, you won't stay there. Give glad tidings and don't run the people away. Make things easy and don't make things difficult. So we don't want to run people away and start calling out names of their leaders and their groups when it's not necessary. We don't want to do that unnecessarily. But what is disturbing is people claim that they're calling to Islam and the Sunnah and they want to make their dawah very generic. They don't even say Allah anymore. The lecture's called, do you love God? Do you love God? Ya akhi, that word God is not the equivalent of Allah. Allah is something else, conjures up a different meaning. You say God to the Hindu, he gets one idea. To the Christian, another idea. The Sikh, another idea. The atheist, another idea. You say Allah, Allah is totally something different. Totally something different, a different idea altogether. So the point here, Ikhwani fillah, we're living in an environment and at a time where it's very, very, very easy, extremely easy for a person to think he's on something, but he's not on anything. As Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. From the people of those people who worship Allah and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. If you told them, come, explain it to me, They have not the ability to explain comprehensively what is the theology of Islam. What is La ilaha illallah? The simplicity of that formula. La ilaha illallah. You ask the Muslim. There's no God except Allah. This is who He is. La ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah in his tashahhud. And the adhan that he hears and that he makes. He's hearing it throughout his life. He's going to say La ilaha. What does it mean? Similar to Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Tell the Muslim, come here, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. You heard it so many times. Both of them are the Rahmah of Allah. What's the difference between the two? Many people don't know. Some people know, many people don't know. I didn't know it was a difference. The beneficent and merciful, what does that mean? Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, both of them have to do with Rahmah, but they both have different meanings. Simple aspects of our religion. What I mean by simple, things that we hear every day. They've passed us on a daily, consistent basis. La ilaha illallah. There's no God but Allah. Isa is a God to some. Not because he chose that, but they made it. Money, power, women, monkeys, other than that. So La ilaha illallah is not that. So we don't want to be of the people who worship Allah Azza wa Jalla and they don't know what they're doing, especially in regards to this particular issue. In closing, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, in his last farewell pilgrimage before he died, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to make sure that the people understood his message. So they were in Hajj when there had never been a large assembly of Muslims at one time. He told them, come together. And he deputized some of the companions. You go and bring them together and make them be quiet, because there were so many people. They hadn't seen that many people at any given time before. Not for Jummah, not for Eid, all of the people were there. When they all came together, he told the people, make them quiet, and everyone went quiet. Then he started telling them a number of things in his farewell pilgrimage. His words are well known. After addressing the audience, he said to them, what are you people going to say to Allah Yawmul Qiyamah when he asks you about me? They said, we're going to bear witness that you relayed the message. You told us everything. There was no stone except you turned it over and you explained everything we need to know. You told us how to go to the toilet, how to get dressed, how to wake up, how to go to bed, how to have relationships with the wife, how to get married. You taught us how to welcome the child, how to bury. You didn't leave one thing unturned, not one thing. You taught us everything we need to know in our deen. You did not leave a single thing out where we're in need of someone coming to add on. You told us everything. After hearing that from them, from their own mouths, that's their testimony against themselves. Radiyallahu anhu. The Prophet put his finger up as he used to do when he would give the khutbah. When he comes to Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah in the khutbah, he would raise his hand like this. When he used to make salah, he would put his hand like that. When he came to At-Tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawat, he used to tell the people to do like this. It's more tougher on shaitan than you being able to hit him with an iron pole. He used to do it a lot. It was his sunnah. At the end of the khutbah, when he started making dua, he would make dua with his finger up like this. What are you people going to say to Allah Yawmul Qiyamah about me? We're going to tell Allah, you relayed the message. You weren't ambiguous. You were clear. You weren't dubious. We understand everything. Small issues, how to spit. Don't spit towards the Qibla. When you put your jacket on, put your right arm first. When you take your shoes off, take that one off first, take the other one off second. Put them on the other way. Comb your hair from the right. You told us everything. Do you think he forgot to tell them who Allah is, where Allah is, what he does, what he doesn't do? So what did he do after he heard that? He took his finger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he raised it in the sky and he looked up. And they said that he used to always look up in the sky. They would be burying the man. They were burying the man, and the Nabi would look up in the sky and he had this stick. doing something to the ground. Some people were looking at the stick, some people were looking at his eyes. And then he would look down, and then he would tell the people, ask Allah to establish this man right now in the grave because he's being questioned. Why did he used to always look up in the sky? Because he knows that his Lord is above the 7 heavens in a way that befits his majesty. He put his finger up. After they answered him, he said, "Oh Allah, bear witness." And he put it on the people to his right. "Oh Allah," looking up in the sky, "bear witness." "Allahumma shahad," bear witness. Bear witness to what they said, that I relayed the message. I relayed the message about where Allah is. That's why I did that. That's why he did it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now the person comes today. The person comes today, and he wants to replace what the Nabi left in his legacy, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with what Hindus gave us, what Sikhs gave us, and the Yarmi, and the Khatam, and the Mawlid al-Nabawi, and all of those other things, and then fight against you about it, strong and wrong, simultaneously. Gonna fight you about it. No, it's not acceptable by any stretch of the imagination. And this is the thorough job that the shaitan, he has succeeded in many issues. And for that reason, when the soil has been created so that when the Dajjal does come, people in this masjid right now, and we all have a good opinion about ourselves. Nobody's going to come in here and come up with some gadget, steal my money. Not the little bit of money that I have. Someone sends me an email and tells me I'm the widow of General so-and-so and he left $50 million or pounds and I want you to help me. You'll get half. Just send me your bank details. I'm going to say, nah, it's too good to be true. I'm not even going to write back and say, who are you? I'm not even going to write back. That's how a Dajjal comes into this masjid right now. Some of us will believe that he is Allah. Not because you're stupid, not because you're weak, not because your mother and your father didn't do the job. It's just that you didn't know your Aqeedah. You didn't know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can't be seen in this dunya. You didn't know that Allah Azza wa Jal, he's not like the Dajjal who has one eye. A Dajjal will claim that he's Allah, but he has one eye, one protruding and the other in his head. Allah is not like that, as the Nabi said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Innakum lan taru rabbakum hatta tamutu. You will not see your Lord until you die. Musa said, Rabbi arani anzur ilayk. Oh, my Lord, Musa said, let me see you. Allah said, innaka lan tarani. You will not be able to see me, not in this dunya. At Dajjal comes, the person who knows his Aqeedah, right away he'll say, you're the Dajjal, Kadab. Other people who don't know simple issues like this, he'll mesmerize the people with all kinds of issues. It is the Aqeedah, the creed, that will protect you, bi-idhnillah, from the fitna and the confusion of Ad-Dajjal and the other Dajjajala. Those other Dajjals from the human beings. Not the big Dajjal, but the other liars. Pir Uthman, if you go to YouTube, there's a man, Pir Uthman. And I'm not against peers. If a peer is on the sunnah, and peer just means sheikh, man of knowledge, religion, no problem. Pir Uthman, people come to him in the wheelchair. He puts his hand in a pan. You can't see what's in the pan, but you hear sizzling. He puts his hand in there and it goes shh, as if it's burning. Shh, and he's very calm. Shh, and then he touches the man in the wheelchair and he jumps up and starts running around. And the Muslims say, Allah, Allah. Ya akhi, the man in the wheelchair is in cahoots. They're gangsters, they're hustlers together. You didn't see that from the Christians. White and black Africans know this. White and black Christians, you didn't see this hustle. The man with Aqeedah. Someone comes and tells us the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to Pakistan and he came into the house of the poor girl and the footprint of the Nabi is still in the house. And then the people say, if you want to come and see it, get in line and just pay a few rupees. And the line is all the way around the corner. But the Muslim with Aqeedah, he's not even interested in that. He's not interested. Even if the Nabi came, what's the big deal? I don't worship footprints. Even if the Nabi came, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? So one of the benefits of having the correct Aqeedah, Abdullah, it'll help you to protect yourself. You know Allah, you know yourself. You know Allah, you know other people. You know Allah Azza wa Jal, you'll get that thabat in the dunya, inshallah, where people won't be able to manipulate you with these tricks and these games and these things that they say and they believe. So the Aqeedah of Islam, as we mentioned, when we end with this, it is imperative. As I told you, Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, Al-Fiqh Al-Akbar, the major fiqh. The major fiqh is not as-salah, that's important. But the real, true, major fiqh is knowing who Allah, comprehending. That's what fiqh means, to understand and comprehend. Comprehending, the major comprehension, who your Lord is. What does He do? What doesn't He do? That's the important thing. And get away from these issues of the culture that has been passed on to us that are contradiction to the sublime, pristine, unadulterated Tawheed of Allah. Pure. My wife, your wife, the Muslim lady has a baby. She says, I'm not going to give my baby cow's milk, Similac, powder. I'm going to give my baby the natural milk that Allah gave me, that pure milk. Because that pure milk that I give him is going to do so much for the child's digestive system, for his intellect, psychological issues, and the bond between me and him. Instead of that, I'm going to replace my milk with some soy milk, cow's milk. Why you give him a cow milk? Pasteurized milk. That's how your Aqeedah has to be. Pure, unadulterated. Like the mother when she birthed her baby. And she put him on that milk naturally. He just got with it. It's easy. It goes along with the fitrah. It's easy. No takalluf. This other stuff, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the minbar. Here's the green chair so that the Prophet could come and sit down on Jummah. In this masjid, in that masjid, in China, in New York, in Mogadishu, in Kashmir. That's takalluf. How? Why? That's difficult to comprehend. He's everywhere. It's a difference of 8 hours between here and America. He's there and here. No. We want a pure, easy Islam that Allah Azza wa Jalla created all of Bani Adam on. We're going to stop here, inshallah, so we can give you brothers an opportunity to ask a few questions related to the topic. And our tawfiq is only from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Again, in closing, I'm not here when I say pirsab. I'm not here against Asians or a particular group as such. But we are definitely against shirkun billah. We're against innovation. We're against the culture that has replaced the religion. And we're against also this ikhtilaf that the Muslims have. The fighting and the differences that we have, they come as a direct result because everyone is not worshiping the same one. Everyone is not worshiping the same ilah. Some people are worshiping an ilah, they don't know where he is and what he does. And some people are worshiping another ilah who was born from a woman, as he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to eat farid. He said, I'm just the son of a lady who used to eat farid. That's a dish in Mecca. He used to tell the people, I'm just the son of a woman who used to eat this farid. But we made him an ilah to be worshipped, to make dua to, and to swear by, and to hope in. And Allah is a'la and a'lam.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh Abu Usamah, for a thought-provoking lecture about having the correct Aqeedah. We're going to open the floor, like Sheikh said, any questions relating to today's topic. If you have any questions, jinn, black magic, soothsayers, fortune tellers, anything, taweez, anything, amulets, anything, now's your chance to ask, because having the correct Aqeedah, like it was mentioned, is very, very important. Any questions? Yes, brother.
Can you shed a little bit light on is Tawheed, Uluhiyya, Rububiyyah, and the third category?
There's 2 or 3.
The third.
Yeah.
Very quickly, inshallah, the brother's asking about the 3 categories of a Tawheed. And these 3 categories of a Tawheed don't come to us in one ayat of the Quran saying and identifying them as the 3 categories, nor do they come in an authentic hadith saying these are the 3 categories of a Tawheed. But they come as a result of what is known as istiqra. And istiqra means when you take the Quran and the Sunnah, just the Quran, and you read it from the beginning to the back, you'll find only these 3 types of Tawheed. So as a result of that, the scholars made these 3 categories of a Tawheed. First category is a category of the oneness of Allah in His Lordship. That Allah is the creator and the sustainer and the provider of everything in existence. He's the orchestrator of all of this that we have. And the non-Muslims of Quraysh used to believe this. Every kafir, every person believes this. Is innate in your fitrah. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَلَئِن سَأَلْتُهُم مَّنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهِ. If you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, verily they're going to say Allah. He mentioned in the Quran about the kuffar, فَإِذَا رَكِبُوا فِي الْفُلْكِ دَعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ فَإِذَا هُمْ يُشْرِكُونَ. If they get in the boat and the boat is in trouble, they call on Allah. They call on Allah with sincerity. But when the boat lands to the shore, to the sea, and they get off, they start making shirk again. It's inside of the human being to believe there is a God, something to be worshipped, someone is inside of him. So the kuffar of Quraysh, that's not enough for the Muslim just to know that. The second category of Tawheed, more important than the first one, is the Tawheed al-Uluhiyya or Tawheed al-Ibadah. The oneness that Allah has in His worship. That you don't make dua to other than Allah, no matter who. Jibril, Mikael, Israfil, Muhammad, no one. And that you slaughter only for Allah. You pray to Allah. You ask only Allah Azza wa Jal. You're only afraid of Allah. You're only hoping in Allah. You worship Allah by Himself. As the Imam read today, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They have not been commanded to do anything except to worship Allah alone with ikhlas. And the last and final category of a Tawheed is the uniqueness and the oneness of Allah in His names and His attributes. Allah is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, At-Tawwab, Al-Ghafoor. Allah Azza wa Jal has those names, 99 names, but even more than that. He has all those names and He has characteristics. He speaks. He comes down. He's shy. He's jealous, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all of those characteristics are unique unto Him. Unique. You come down and Allah comes down. But your coming down is not like Allah's coming down in the last third of the night. Allah has 2 hands. And both of His hands are right hands. That's a characteristic that is established in the Quran and the Sunnah. He created Adam and told the Malaika bow down to Adam. They all bowed down except Iblis. He was haughty. Allah said to Iblis, مَا مَنَعَكَ أَن تَسْجُدَ لِمَا خَلَقْتُ بِيَدَيَّ. What stopped you from bowing down to the one I created with my 2 hands? And the Nabi said, the 2 hands of Allah are 2 right hands. It's not for you and me to sit and figure that out. What does that mean? Allah didn't make that your business. And it's definitely not for you and me to start saying, oh, we reject this. How is that? Oh, what? That's not for you. Those companions didn't do that. Those companions heard these ayat. They heard and that was it. They didn't say to the Nabi, how, why, when. They didn't say this stuff. Because their fitrah was salima. They knew the language and had true iman. Now, the Muslims get into philosophy. So those are the 3 categories of Tawheed, and they deserve to be studied and comprehended and applied and called to.
Yes, I can go ahead.
Can you explain in the hadith of Jibreel, when he asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is ihsan?
Certainly the hadith of Jibreel, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhi, he asked the Prophet 3 questions, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. What is al-Iman? What is al-Islam? What makes a person a Muslim and Islam? He told him that you say the Shahadatain, you make Salat, you give Zakat, you fast, and you make Hajj. You're a Muslim. He said the second higher level. What is al-Iman? What makes a person a mu'min? A mu'min. He said that you believe in Allah and the Malaika and His books and His prophets and Yawm al-Akhir, and you believe in the Qadr, the good of it and the bad of it, and you're a mu'min. And then he said, and what is ihsan? Al-ihsan, the highest level. What makes a person a muhsin? A muhsin. Muslim, mu'min, muhsin. He said, al-ihsan in ta'budu Allah ka'annaka tarahu wa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yarak. That you worship Allah as though you see Him. And although you don't see Him, you know that He sees you. That you're worshiping Allah and you know that Allah sees you. As the statement goes, it's not a hadith, it's weak as a hadith, but the statement is true. Allah sees the black ant in the pitch black cave walking on top of a black rock. Allah sees him and hears him, hears his footsteps, knows everything about him. 50,000 years before He created the heavens and the earth, He knew everything about that ant. So as a Muslim, you know that Allah sees and hears to that degree, and even beyond that, from what we can fathom, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the person who exists in that way, knowing that Allah is mighty and powerful and so forth, so on, he's on the highest state and the highest plane of al-Islam. The Nabi saw a man, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the man's back was to the Nabi. He slapped his young slave, slapped him, and started rebuking him and talking bad about him, was going to slap him again. The Nabi saw it. He said, "Ma anta bi aqdar alayhi mimma Allahu alayk." You don't have, the man didn't see, he said, you don't have more power and ability over him than what Allah has over you. My little man right here, what's your name, little man? Khalid. I'll jump over this table and jump on Khalid and choke him. Khalid can't do anything, inshallah. He can't do anything. The Prophet told that man, the ability that you have to jump on Khalid, to slay that guy, Allah has more ability to deal with you like that. It's not even comparable what you can do, the damage that you can do, and what Allah can do to you. Right now, you just stop breathing. Your heart just stopped. The ceiling caves in. Anything. The whole earth caves in. So the muhsin is on that level of existence, on that level, that's his reality, that's the yaqeen that he's on. Now, if Allah Azza wa Jal wanted Khalid to repel the attempt to do something, then clearly Allah can make Khalid the victor in this scenario. And it wouldn't even be religiously correct to say, but I don't think so. La. What Allah wants, that's what's going to happen. Kam min fi'atin qalilatin ghalabat fi'atin kathiratin bi'idhnillah. How many times did a small band of people defeat a large band of people by Allah's permission? David slew Goliath. Goliath was big. He was a big guy. But little David slew him and killed him. So we don't look at issues like that. We don't look how little he is and how big you are, how many numbers they have or don't have. We don't look at that. We look at who's with us or who's against us. That's Aqeedah. Who's with you and who's against you. If everybody is against you and Allah is with you, you're going to be victorious. If Allah is not with you and everybody else is with you, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. That's the importance of Aqeedah. The brother wants to know, in the Aqeedah of the Muslims, did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam see Allah Azza wa Jal when he went to the Isra wal Mi'raj, did he see Allah? This is ikhtilaf between the companions. One of the few issues that the companions had ikhtilaf about in Aqeedah. There's another important point. In Salah, there's a lot of ikhtilaf between the companions. So when you see someone doing something you're not doing from his madhab or whatever, take it easy. Pump your brakes. Slow down. Fall to the back and have a discussion, because he may be doing something that the companions looked at it that way as well. Many varying opinions the companions had in the fiqh of ibadat. But in Aqeedah, there are only 6 or 7 issues that they had ikhtilaf in. And the reason why they had ikhtilaf is because it could be understood like this or like that. 6 or 7 issues, that's it. 8 issues at the most, that's it, on 2 hands. In Salah, there are a million ikhtilaf. Much of it happened with the companions. So this is one of the few issues of Aqeedah. Aisha radiallahu anha told Abdullah ibn Abbas, if you say that the Nabi saw Allah, my hair is about to stand on my head from that statement. Didn't you hear Allah saying in the Quran, لَن تُدْرِكُهُ الْأَبْصَارُ وَهُوَ يُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارُ? Allah sees everything and no one can see Allah. Allah said that. Ibn Abbas said, no, there were other ayat. لَقَدْ رَآهُ بِنَزْرَةُ الْأُخْرَى. He saw him at those times when he went up there. And the Nabi came back and he told the people, لَقَدْ رَأَيْتُ رَبِّيَ الْبَارِحَةِ. I saw my Lord last night. They say, Ya Rasulullah, describe him too. He said, Nurun, anna arahu. It was light. How can I describe it? So Ibn Abbas said he saw Allah. Aisha said he didn't see Allah. So which one is it? It's in the middle. She was right and he was right. The Prophet ﷺ saw Allah. He didn't see Allah with his eyes, as Aisha said, because he can't see him with his eyes. But he saw Allah with his heart. The nur of Allah with his heart, not with his eyes. The nur of Allah with his heart. And he didn't see Allah Ta'ala's face. He saw it from his countenance. Because Yawm al-Qiyamah, the believers will get a chance to see the face of Allah. That's going to be the biggest ni'mah of the people of the Jannah. So he saw Allah with his heart and not with the eyes of the head. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. Mizan.
How would you advise those people who use analogy and say that you go to a doctor for medicine, so why can't you go to someone and get ta'weez?
Concerning qiyas, analogy, someone says you go to a doctor for medicine, why can't you go to someone to get a ta'weez? In our religion, something is established from the Quran, by the Sunnah, by the Ijma, and by qiyas. But qiyas is something that's used in the absence of a proof. You're not going to find in the Quran that crack is haram or halal. Anybody ever read an ayat in the Quran talking about crack? No ayat about crack at all. But because khamr is similar to crack in that when you use it, both of them you become intoxicated, the crack gets the same ruling as the alcohol because of the similarities that are between them. That's qiyas, making analogy. But if there's a dalil, there's a proof, then there's no qiyas. Qiyas is used when there's no clear proof. That's the difference, and that's what's important here. Qiyas is used when there's no clear proof. The other thing is, there's no qiyas in Aqeedah. Qiyas is in the ibadat and the mu'amalat, worship and how to deal with each other. There's no qiyas in Aqeedah. You can't make qiyas about the unseen, things that are unseen, unknown. So when a person comes and he says, you go to a doctor for when you're sick, why don't you go for the ta'weez? There are dalils that make the ta'weez impermissible. Clear dalils. Like the Prophet's statement, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, "Man ta'allaqa bi tamimatin faqad ashraka billah." Anyone who becomes connected and uses this tamima, ta'weez, he has made shirk with Allah. Many ahadith that make it permissible. "Man ta'allaqa bi tamimatin fala atamma Allahu lahu." Anyone who uses a tamima, may Allah not complete his affairs. The Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Inna ruqa wa tiwila wa tama'im shirkum billah." Certain forms of ruqya, tiwila is the love potions, and the tamima, the ta'weed, is shirk with Allah. All of those issues. You have dalil saying don't do it. So don't come and use qiyas because there's a dalil now. So just use the religion to take off of you your sickness. You do ruqya, read the Quran, make dua, and take the medicines that are available. Read the Quran on yourself, no problem. As for the ta'weed and the tamima with the Quran, this is something that if it was good, the companions would have preceded us to it, radiallahu anhum, and you don't find a single authentic hadith that they did such a thing, so it should be avoided. It is shirku billahi. Wallahu a'lam.
Okay, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, brother, can you please explain the hadith that the prophets are alive in their graves and they pray? And can you also explain what is the barzakh?
Concerning the hadith that the prophets are alive in their graves, we have to believe in this. This is established, and it's from the ilm al-ghayb that came to us through our Nabi and our Rasul, that Allah said about him, "Ma yantiqu an hawa in huwa illa wahyu yuha." He doesn't speak from his desires, but he speaks based upon the revelation that came to him. And he told us that the prophets pray in their graves, that they are alive in their graves. We believe that. We believe that 110%. First thing we have to say about that is that because they're prophets and messengers, they have some special things. Khasa'is. Different prophets and messengers have different khasa'is. And certain prophets and messengers, they share in, all prophets share in khasa'is, special characteristics. One of the characteristics that they all share in is that they're ma'soom, they're infallible, all of them. Another one that they all share in is wherever they die, that's where they're buried. Another thing that they all share in is that when they die, they don't leave any inheritance. So there are a number of khasa'is that all of the prophets have, all of them. And then there are some are unique unto them. Musa had special ones, Isa has special ones, Ibrahim has special ones, Muhammad has special ones, Adam has special ones. Everyone is different. They have some special things. Every child that was born, every child, Shaitan came and poked them in the side, and the child screamed out, except Isa ibn Maryam. The Shaitan did that to the Nabi and he screamed out. It only didn't happen to Isa and his mother. So concerning the grave, all of the prophets, they're in their graves praying in a way that Allah knows, because it's in the barzakh. This dunya, this life consists of 3 levels, 3 marahil, 3 stations. The first station is the station of this dunya. And that includes being born in your mother's womb and all that. Living in this dunya is our first level. And then when you die, you go in that grave. And that's the barzakh. The rules and the regulations, the ahkam of the barzakh are different from here. A man is buried and he's from the people of Jannah. May Allah make us from them. Next to him is a man from the Nar. May Allah protect us from that. The man from the Jannah, he will be in a garden from the gardens. His grave will be a garden. For as far as his eye can see, he'll see the Jannah and his place in the Jannah. That guy next to him, he'll be seeing the fire and his place in the fire. He's not bothering him and he's not bothering him. It's not for us to put our feet in this area other than what came to us from the Kitab and the Sunnah. Don't make qiyas and don't put your foot where it doesn't belong. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. inna sama wal basar wal fu'ad kullu ulaika kana anhu mas'ula. Don't go after what you have no knowledge about. Your seeing, your hearing, and what you thought and believe is going to be questioned and looked into Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's the barzakh. What's happening with the people who are dead in their graves. And the Anbiya, they are in their graves like the Mujahideen who got the Shahada. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, لا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. Don't think that those people who were killed fi sabilillah are dead. They're in their graves, alive, being provided by their Lord. How is that? Allah knows the reality of it, but we have some ideas about it that came to us from the authentic Sunnah. So the barzakh is not this life, it's the transitory life between here and the third place. And the third place is either the Jannah or the Nar, the hereafter. The hereafter. So what's taking place in that grave, Allah knows best how the reality is. But that doesn't mean that a person can go to the grave and start talking to his wife, talking to his mother. Hey, Ma, what's going on down there? Everything good with you, Ma? What's happening? It doesn't mean that. And the ahkam of the hereafter as well. In the hereafter, there's khamr. There's milk that flow in rivers, and it never goes spoiled. You drink the khamr, you're not going to get drunk. The huru'in. The lady will lift up her dress. The huru'in. She'll lift up her dress, and you'll be able to see through her leg, and you'll see the bone marrow. You don't want to see the bone marrow here, and it's not nice. You know the bone marrow is inside the bone, the black stuff. You break open the chicken bones, the black stuff. You'll see her bone marrow in over there. People who sweat in Jannah, the Yahud came and said, "Ya Muhammad, you said that the people in Jannah are going to eat. The Quran, you said they're going to eat. This, that, that. So anything and everyone who eats, it has to come out." They were trying to be sarcastic. And he said, so what's going to happen? The people in Jannah. He said, yes, and the people of Jannah, they're going to eat everything what they want. لَهُمْ مَا يَشَاءُونَ. Whatever they want. And when they eat, it's going to come out in the form of their sweat, and it's going to smell like misk. That up there is not like here. So we don't step in this area, we don't try to deal with it other than what we heard the Nabi said. So I close with that, Ikhwani. What's the message here today? The main message here today is the only Islam that Allah is going to accept from us Yawm al-Qiyamah, Somali, Asian, Sudani, Mirpuri, revert, white, black, man, woman, professional, good health, rich, poor. The only Islam Allah is going to accept from us is the Islam that is the replica. It is similar to what Abu Bakr and Umar, Uthman and Ali and those people were upon. Don't come and read an ayat from the Quran and give it a different understanding that those companions didn't have. A hadith from the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you apply to it a different understanding. The only Islam that Allah is going to accept from you Yawm al-Qiyamah is that Islam that those companions were upon. The only Islam. So make sure that your Aqeedah, what you believe in, how you believe, you can show this is what the companions were upon and this is what they understood. Anything other than that, my culture, my sheikh, my madhab, and you can't show that those companions were upon it, it's going to be rejected and it's going to be in the hellfire. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His greatest name that He establishes us upon the kalimah of Tawheed, and protects us from the shirk and the kufr and innovation, and He makes us of those people of al-i'tisam, people who love the sunnah and the purity of the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If anything was said that was correct, then that's from Allah all by Himself. All by Himself. And if anything was said tonight by me that was incorrect, then that's from me and the shaitan. And Allah and His messenger are free of that. They're free of that. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.